Pishut Merav Rabotai, with the permission of Hashem, I would like to wish you to all of you a good week, and this time we'll talk, of course, about Abraham, Sarah, Rivka, Yitzhak. We have a lot of things to talk about. As you know, that each year we read the same story. It's incredible. And each year we understand more and more about our past, about our parents, about Abraham, who he was, about Yitzhak, who he was, the wives. It's true that every year we read the same story, but every year we understand the story differently. And that gives us a joy, a happiness to understand more and more about our parents. We discover it could take us thousands of years to discover who were our parents, how good they were, how much they were attached to Hashem, the way they serve Hashem. And it's a learning for us. It's something to learn from them. Now, my friend, I would like just to talk to you today about if we talk about the sacrifice of that Hashem asked Abraham to sacrifice his son, Yitzhak. And Abraham Abinu has no problem to do what Hashem he wants from him. Just, there is a problem. The only problem is, would Yitzhak accept? Because Abraham is the father, Yitzhak is the son, and Abraham is going to ask his son, he was not a baby. This is not a Brit Milah. A Brit Milah, when Abraham when he did the Brit Milah to Yitzhak, his son, he was only 8 days old. Just, there was not a problem. There is no resistance from Yitzhak. But now that Yitzhak is nearly 37 years old, he was a gentleman, he was a man. We're talking here about a man. I mean, Hashem, he asked Abraham, take your son, the one that you love, the one that I told you that from him I will give you a nation, a generation, that from him I will, the children, the generation, the descendant that it will come from, Yitzhak, they will be the chosen people. Exactly, I decided now that I want you to take him, to sacrifice him. It was not a problem for Abraham. For Hashem, he's willing to do anything. The question is, I have two questions. First, how can Hashem do that to Abraham? Okay, Hashem, he tests Abraham. Abraham doesn't know that he is tested, that Hashem tests him. But still, it's not easy. I'm telling you. Bemet, honest, it's not easy. You know, just imagine that Hashem will tell me to sacrifice one of my children. It's not easy, Bemet, it's not... Okay, maybe, I don't know, I'm not in that kind of situation. But one thing I tell you, that it's not easy. It's not easy. I don't know if I will do it or not. Maybe I'll do it. Probably I'll do it, because Hashem asked me, if I'm sure that Hashem was talking to me. But the problem is, would my son accept? Would my son accept? Because Abraham was an old man, Yitzhak is a young gentleman, and he's a strong man. I mean, He can tell his father no. Abraham cannot take him by force. He cannot force him. So, what can we do in that case? But for Abraham, there was no problem. On the other hand, why Hashem he will not ask Yitzhak directly? Why he will not speak to him? Why not talk to him? Yitzhak, I want you to be my sacrifice. I want you to tell your father to sacrifice you. This is a kind of question that we want to understand. On the other hand, what about Hashem? How can Hashem be in contradiction? On one hand, he said to Hashem, he said to Abraham, from this gentleman, you will have a generation, a descendants, which I will give them the Torah, I will give them, they will be slaves in somewhere during 400 years, then they will be liberated, I will free them, I will give them freedom, then I will make them a nation, I will give them Torah, and I will give them the land of Canaan. And now Hashem said to Abraham, take him, sacrifice him. I don't know what to, okay. Hashem can change his mind, but still, why Hashem did that? What it is the purpose of that kind of sacrifice? Everything has a purpose. Everything has something, has a meaning. What can we learn from that? Okay, we will learn Abraham, he loved God. Abraham is willing to do whatever Hashem asks him. Even Yitzhak, Beseder. Okay, there is other ways that we can know how much Abraham he loved God. Do we need that kind of sacrifice? This is my questions. My friend, I would like just to tell you, Abraham Abinu Alav Shalom, how much emunah he had on Hashem. The emunah that Abraham Abinu had on Hashem was incredible. We cannot imagine the emunah, the faith. He loved so much Hashem, for him there is no question. No question. Maybe we ask questions about Abraham, but Abraham, he has no question. Abraham Abinu Alav Shalom, when Hashem told him to do the sacrifice to Yitzhak, for him he has no problem. The problem is, would Yitzhak accept or not? That it is the problem. And I think that that was not a problem as well, because that was the kind of education that Abraham Abinu he gave to Yitzhak. Abraham Abinu Alav Shalom, his story was very well known on the world. That a few years ago, there was a king, his name is Nimrod, that he asked Abraham to do idolatry, to bend to the idolatry. And Abraham said, no, I only bend to Hashem. I only pray to Hashem. And Nimrod told him, if you don't do that, I'll burn you. So Abraham said, you can burn me. I'm convinced there is only Hashem. I can only bend myself to Hashem. I can only pray to Hashem, the one who created the world. I don't believe on you, and I will not bend on this idolatry. No. I'm sorry, Nimrod. And what happened? Nimrod threw him to the fire. And Hashem, when Hashem saw that the only one who believed on him is going to be burned, so Hashem he protected him. Hashem he protected him. Because Hashem said, if this man will be burned on my name, who will teach the people that I exist? So at least, can you imagine somebody who is willing to do what Abraham did? That time there was no one. That's why we call Abraham Ha'ivri. What the Gemara said, what it is the meaning of Ha'ivri? Ha'ivri means one side. That means all the world was on one side, and Abraham was the opposite, on another side. He was like one against everybody. So Hashem said, a man like this, if he die, who's going to teach my people? Who is going to teach people that I exist? So Hashem, He did a miracle. He protected him. He did not burn. And Hashem, He gave him a reward. What a reward He gave him? Hashem told him, from you I will build the nation that will receive the Torah from my hand. So my friend, of course, this story of Abraham Avinu was very, very, very well known all over the world, what Abraham did. And Abraham Avinu was beloved. Everybody loved him. Loved him because he was a good man. He was a good person. The way he received people, his generosity, about tzedakah, he teach Torah to people. No one. He was an example for people. And every time you talk about God, you talk about Hashem. Of course, the way he was talking to the people, Yitzhak Avinu, he saw the way he was, that his father was serving Hashem. And of course, Yitzhak Avinu knew that the generation, the descendants, that they will receive the Torah from Hashem, is going to be from the descendant from him. So Yitzhak Avinu, he loved so much Hashem. He served so much Hashem. He was like his father. He was the image of his father. So of course he accepted. He said, my father, for the name of Hashem, he gave his body to be burned, so he will show and not to bend to the idolatry. And me, Hashem, He would choose me to be sacrificed. I would say, no, impossible, none. So Abraham Avinu alav shalom, when Hashem he proposed to Abraham Avinu to take his son, he knew that for his son there will be no problem. Why? Because his son, he's the image of his father. The same way that his father he gave his body for Hashem, that's what he wants to do as well. He's willing to give his body for Hashem. So Abraham Avinu alav shalom has no problem. But only the problem was one problem. How is going to? Why? So why Hashem did ask Yitzhak? Because if Hashem would ask Yitzhak, of course Yitzhak would say yes. Of course, as I told you, Yitzhak, he was the image of his father. His father, he gave his body to be burned, so he will not bend to the idolatry. So of course, Yitzhak would do the same for Hashem. Especially if Hashem asked him directly. Of course he will not say no. So why it was a big test for Abraham Avinu? The big test for Abraham Avinu alav shalom, it was that one question, how he's going to live the rest of his life. With one question. What question? Hashem, He told me, from Yitzhak, I will have generation, I will have descendant, which they will receive the Torah from Hashem, and they will be slaves in a foreigner country, and after 400 years they will receive the Torah, and they will get the land of Canaan, and now I'm lonely. And even that question, He did not ask. He could ask. He's going to live all the rest of his life with that question. That was a big test for Abraham. All his life he's going to ask himself, Hashem, he told me after 100 years to have a baby, leave Haran, you have a baby, and then he gave me a baby. My wife, she became a young woman, and she had a baby, and now here I am, lonely, alone, with nobody. And even that, Abraham did not ask. So now what's the purpose of this kind of test? My friend, I would like just to tell you something. This week, I'm convinced I love Hashem, I love the Torah. But I want just to tell you a few stories. This week, I receive somebody, Baruch Hashem, we have a lot of institutions. And it's not easy to deal not only with our institutions, but other institutions that they come and they ask us to help them. Usually we don't refuse. I can't refuse. And this week we saw that our account it's nearly empty. No money left. And then somebody came and he gave me a check. Good check. And then the same day, somebody, a rabbi came, that he just opened a new yeshiva, and he's struggling. And he opened a yeshiva, really a good yeshiva, here in France. And I was thinking, what to do? Yes, no. I took the same check that I received in the morning, I give it to him. It's a sacrifice. And then Hashem sent me somebody else. There's a big rabbi who came with a problem. And I said to the secretary, we prepare him the same check as we give him every year. But they said, what about the money? So we'll be asked Hashem till Monday. Maybe there will be money. Jewish people live with sacrifice. Look, Shabbat. Shabbat, it's a big sacrifice, Shabbat. People, those who don't work, they're losing money. And they're happy that they don't work Shabbat. Have you seen somebody happy when he loses money? Never. One day I said to somebody, look, you did not respect Shabbat, you work all life, you put all your money in a real estate, and you lost everything. A lot of people, they put money in the market, in la bourse, and they lost. And they are now on the street. There's a lot of people who were millionaires and they lost. I mean, at least those who respect Shabbat, okay, they lose the money that they should earn on Shabbat, but they're happy. The happiness of keeping Shabbos. It's incredible. Shabbat. At least Shabbat, we're okay. Those who lost, like somebody last week, he told me, Rabbi David, I think I'm going to finish with my life. Really, it's a millionaire. He was a billionaire. And he lost everything. He invests money in the wrong place, and he he was very lucky before. Now he's not lucky anymore. Now where they put money, you see that you have no luck, so stop. No. He thought that by investing money, you know, and in la bourse and the stock market, he thought he will make more money in invest in gold, and now the gold is down, and at the end he lost everything. Now they're going to take his house. I feel sorry for him. I feel bad for him. He did not respect nothing, so I told him, you lost everything. At least those who respect Torah and mitzvot, they have the satisfaction of, באמת, I enjoy Shabbat. When we do a mitzvah, we enjoy the mitzvah. It's fabulous, good. It's a sacrifice, Baruch Hashem, it's a good sacrifice. To invest money in real estate or in stock market and to lose it, it's a bad sacrifice. People sacrifice and after it's bad. But on mitzvot, all the sacrifice that we do by doing the mitzvot, they're not bad, they're good. It's a good sacrifice that gives you more emunah and more. Look, just the history of Eliezer. It's a fabulous history. When Avraham Avinu said to Eliezer, go look a girl for my son. Eliezer, he looked for a girl for Yitzhak. And then he started to pray to Hashem, please do me a favor. I don't want to look. Please, Hashem, do me a favor. I want just that the girl, that she is the destiny of Yitzhak, she will come. I will meet her. She will be she will be from the family of Abraham. And if I will ask, if I ask her to give me some water, she will propose me, yes, the water for you, and I will give the water even for your camel, and he was asking Hashem, please Hashem, do me a favor. I don't want to look. Usually, somebody who wants to get married, he look for the girl. And here, it's Eliezer, he don't want to look. He wants that Hashem bring him the girl. Not only a normal girl, a virgin girl, a good-looking girl, a religious girl, a girl from the family of Abraham. All this. It's terrible. And not only that, he don't want to look, and he wants to sit, and the girl will come. Till, she will come, and all the sign that you wanted from that girl, they should be. And then he said, and I want that the girl, she will follow me, and she will come to me from Haran to Hebron. And his tefillah was accepted. Eliezer, he traveled from Hebron to Haran. Haran, it's a few thousand kilometers away, and he arrived there, and when he arrived to the city, he was sitting and waiting outside the city. Here is a girl coming, and he asked her, you have some water for me? And she looked at him, she told him, yes, I give you water, and if you want, I give the water as well for the camel. And then he asked her, thank you. Then she's a young little girl, and she was running to give him water, to give water to the camels, 10 camels to the people that they were with him. After a few hours, he told her, what's your name? Where are you from? Where you live? I am the daughter of Bituel. Bituel, that he was the son of Nahor. Nahor, the brother of Abraham. Wow! So they are the niece of Abraham, yes? was so happy. And then he proposed her, can you take me home to your house? I want to meet your parents. Then he met the parents, and he told them who he is. And then he told them, now, this girl, she must be the mother of Yitzhak. Can you give me the permission to take her to marry Yitzhak? And they said yes. Just imagine you sent somebody to Australia, to somebody, you propose to somebody, a girl for somebody in France, in Paris or New York, and they will give you the girl without knowing you. And a little girl. It's impossible. And they accept it. And then Eliezer came the next day. He went to Haran. He arrived to Haran. He spent the night in Haran. The next day, the next morning, he took Rivka with him to Yitzhak Avinu. And they got married. I mean, from here you see the emunah on HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I mean, a Jew who, when you pray to Hashem, you must know that Hashem, if really you believe in Hashem, Hashem, He will give you what you ask Him. It's up to you. Eliezer, he asked Hashem, a girl for Yitzhak, and he gave all the sign, and all what he asked, they will be approved by Hashem, and they received what he wanted, and the next day he went with the girl to Hebron, to Yitzhak. Incredible. Incredible. This is emunah. And it's a big sacrifice for Rivka. And Rivka, she lived with parents that are not religious. They are all idolaters. And she was one against everybody. She was a big tzaddiket. How she was tzaddiket? From when she learned to be tzaddiket, there was no seminar there. There was no synagogue. There was nobody there to teach them Torah. How Rivka, she was a tzaddiket? That's a question that I asked her with that question. And Rabbi Ovadia Yosef, alav shalom, he said that there is a midrash who said that Avraham Avinu, alav shalom, at that time there was no texto, there was no telephone, there was no media, there was no newspapers, there was no television, there was no internet, there was no satellite, there was nothing. But there was one thing. Abraham was sending letters to his family to tell them that he is okay. And of course, in those letters, he talked to them about Hashem. That means that Avraham Avinu, he never stopped contact with his family. He don't live with them anymore. Before he was born in Haran. He was 3,000 kilometers from Eretz, the land of Canaan. Okay? But he never stopped contact. The Gemara said that even Ishmael, his son, that he was living in Egypt, he was in contact with him. He was as well in contact with Lot. Avraham and Avinu alav shalom, he never stopped contact with his relative. Always, he was in contact with them. Talk to them about Hashem, talk to them about what he's doing. But unfortunately, the family of Abraham in Haran, they received the letter. There was no money there in those letters. As Rabbi Yosef said, that when Bituel used to open the letters, he see there is no money, he take the letters and he throw them in the house. Who took those letters? Rivka. And Rivka, she read them. And that's why Rivka, she was a tzaddiket. Through the letters that Abraham used to send to Bituel, to Nahor, to his family. So she was impressed what his uncle was doing. So she was tzaddiket. So now, according to that, understand why Rachel and Leah were as well big tzadkaniyot. Because Rachel and Leah were the children of Lavan. And Lavan was the brother of Rivka. He was a big rasha. He was an idolat. How his daughters, they were tzadkaniyot. They were holy people. How? The answer is, because when Rivka left the house, she left the letters that Abraham used to send. And probably Rivka as well. She carried on sending letters to his brother, Lavan, to tell him how good she is, and all what his husband is doing, the issue what he's opening. Probably Lavan he received the letters from his sister and he threw them away. But who used to take them? Rachel and Leah, Bila and Zilpah. And they used to read them. And they carry on to be impressed by all what Abraham and Yitzhak are doing. And Tata, Aunt Rivka, she's doing. And they were tzadkaniyot. And they were, can you imagine what sacrifice it is to live with Rishaim, to be tzaddik? It's a big sacrifice. It's a big sacrifice. To believe in Hashem is a sacrifice. To believe in Hashem. Because a lot of times, you believe in Hashem, and you still have problems, and problems, and problems, and then you ask yourself, Hashem, where are you? Why? The more I believe in you, the more I have problems. Why? What this is, what Hashem wanted to teach us. What was the purpose that Hashem test Avraham Avinu? What was the purpose? Why to test him? Anyway, Hashem, you know that you would tell him to stop. You will not sacrifice Yitzhak. Anyway, you will tell him. So why? Why you want to test him? What that kind of test? What it is the purpose of this test? My friend, please, just imagine. I would like you to look at me and imagine what I want to tell you. Imagine Avraham Avinu, he take Yitzhak, and he said to Yitzhak, and he tied Yitzhak. Now Yitzhak is going to be the sacrifice, like a sheep. Just imagine that. And Hashem, and Abraham said to Yitzhak, okay, now get ready. And Yitzhak is going to get ready to be sacrifice for Hashem. In that moment, all the souls of all Jews, they were on Yitzhak. Because Hashem he said to Avraham, Ki b'Yitzhak ikareh lechazara. From Yitzhak you will have a descendants. The Judaism will be built up from this boy. This boy. And now this boy, he represents the whole Neshamot. Because Hashem he said, Ki b'Yitzhak ikareh lechazara. All the descendants, they will come only from that one. And now that one is on the hotel of sacrifice. He's tight. This is the minute, few seconds, and Abraham took the knife. At that moment, not only Yitzhak Abin is going to be sacrificed, but all the Jewish people, all his descendants. And that moment, Abraham, when he sacrificed Yitzhak, he not only sacrificed Yitzhak, he sacrificed all his descendants, all men, women, children. And that moment, I'm sure all of us were ready to be sacrificed for Hashem. My friend, that's what Hashem wanted. Hashem, he wanted to give us the strength for generation to come. to resist all kinds of sacrifice to come. If we did accept that sacrifice with Yitzhak Avinu, that's why Abraham did not know that it was only a test. Abraham did not know it was a test. Yitzhak as well, he did not know it was a test. They thought it was a reality. It was a sacrifice. So we as well, that we were inside Yitzhak, we did not thought it was a test. For us it was a reality. So we did accept it. So if we did accept it that time, so we can accept it even today. That was the purpose. Now you see why the Jewish people, they can accept any kind of sacrifice. You know in the Shoah, when Jews used to take them to that famous chamber of gas, they used to take the clothes off, and they used to sing, Hashem will Baruch Hu Elokeinu Shibranu Lechavod. They used to sing to Hashem songs. Thank you, Hashem, that we are your people. You choose us to be sacrificed for you. What happened to Yitzhak in that moment? That gives us strength for all generations to come to accept to be sacrificed for Hashem. Not only sacrifice, but all kind of service. All kind of to resist temptation against the Yetzer Hara. To believe in Hashem, it's emunah. To serve Hashem, it's emunah. It's sacrifice. Now we understand why Abraham, he was tested. Why Hashem, he did not why Hashem did not ask Yitzhak to be sacrificed, because Hashem knew that Yitzhak will be happy to do it. Why he asked only to Abraham? Because for Abraham it's going to be a big test. Because Abraham, he has a problem. All his life he was serving Hashem. All his life he made Hashem be known. And Hashem told him, what you do, your descendants will do it. And now, and they promised him a lot of promises now. Everything is going to go on fire. He could have some questions. Abraham, you don't ask questions. And after Abraham will do the sacrifice of Yitzhak, he will live all his life with this question. Who is going to represent Hashem after me? After I die? Who will be the one? Even that he did not ask. What the purpose of this test? The purpose that all of us, we tested what it is to be sacrificed. We were on the body of Yitzhak Avinu. We tested. We were like if we've been sacrificed. Now, all those kind of tests that we do, all those kind of things, hard things that we can resist and do them, because if we resisted the test of the Akedah, of the sacrifice, we can resist all kind of tests. Yes, sir. Yes. You know, I would like to tell you a small story. One day my father, when he came to live in Israel from Morocco, one day, the first days, they have nothing, an empty house, no furniture, no food, nothing. Nobody know that my father was there. And my father has only small money. He did not receive yet other belonging from Morocco, from Marseille, it takes a few months. Then my mother, she was a little bit stressed. And there were a lot of, all my brothers, sisters, all young people. They were 10 in the house. So they said, my mother asked him, what we're going to eat? We still have something, but what we're going to do? And my father, my father, he never go out. He has to give time to people to get known. people was very well known in Morocco. Now, when he came to Israel, nobody know that he came to Israel, because my father, he didn't want to, that people know that, because he didn't want to stress people, because if people know that he went to Eretz Israel, they will be afraid. So my father, Alav Shalom, he didn't want to take this kind of responsibility. Anyone who wants to go, he can go. I don't want to force people to go, to do their aliyah, Even me. If one day I have to do my aliyah to Eretz Israel, or go to America, or go to France, I don't know, Baruch Hashem, I'm okay here. But I will not tell people, because people, they will ask me why you want to go, so I want to avoid all those kind of questions. But Baruch Hashem, for the moment, I'm okay here. Baruch Hashem. So, my mother, she said to my father, Moshe. So my father said, Mazal, take a paper, write all what you need. So she said, so, if I write, just please, write what you need. So my mother, she writes. She took 2 papers, one paper, food that she wants, and another paper, furniture that she need. And my father, Alav Hashem, he took the papers, and he put them, he said, Be'ezat Hashem, Kadosh Baruch Hu, Yishlach Mal'achu, Kadosh Baruch Hu, will send me somebody. Can you imagine? A few hours later, somebody knocked at the door. He said, somebody that he knew that, he heard that my father was here. He said, I heard that you are here, and I came to get a bracha. My father, he said, you have a bicycle? He said, yes, I have a bicycle. So my father, he said, do you know, what's his name? Weizmann, Shlomo Weizmann. He said, no. He said, my father told him, you know what? Take your bicycle. Just ride the bicycle. Ride the bicycle. You will arrive somewhere, I don't know where, and the bicycle, you will have there a puncture. And I'm sorry about the puncture. You will fix it. Where do you have the puncture? Ask about Shlomo Weizmann. They will show you Shlomo Weizmann and give him that list. Tell him to bring me all this, because he has a big shop. He said, all kind of food. That man, he said, but I don't know. My father said, just to go. And I give you a good bracha. This man, he told me the story. It's not somebody else. That man with the bicycle. He told me, I took the bicycle. I was riding, and I ride. He didn't know where to go. And just he turned, left, right, and he ride. And then he feel a puncture. He looked, he see a big shop. He went there. He saw a man outside the door. He said, I'm looking for Shlomo Weizmann. He said, it's me. It's you? No, it's you. He told him the story. What? Rabbi Moshe Pitu is here? Yes, he gave me this list for you. You look at this. Okay. I will help you to fix the puncture. I'm happy that Rabbi Moshe Pitu is here. And he filled up the car. Or what my mother, she asked it wasn't. Shlomo Weizmann bring it. Emunah. You see, when a man believes in Hashem, it's a big sacrifice to believe in Hashem. It's a big sacrifice, because sometimes you can have questions about Hashem. But Baruch Hashem, it's so easy to have emunah on HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Like, it's easy to believe that your father is your father. It's easy to recognize your mother. This is my mother. It's easy for you to recognize your sisters and brothers. It's easy to recognize Hashem if you want. Why? Because Baruch Hashem, for Abraham Abinu it was very hard. He had to discover Hashem. There was nobody to teach him there is Hashem. It was very, very hard. But for us, it's not hard, it's easy. Because we have the equipment, we have the Torah, we have the brain, we have the past. We read the histories of our parents, or what they did. Just do what they did, you will become like one of them. But if you ignore what they did, so you will be one. You will not be like them or among them. You'll be left alone. Now we understand, all of us, we passed a big test. We were in the body of Yitzhak Avinu. All Jewish people all over the world, they passed a big test, a test of sacrifice. And we all of us, we accepted the sacrifice with Yitzhak. If we did accept that sacrifice, and we resist till the last minute before Abraham, he do a real sacrifice. So if we pass this, we can resist any sacrifice. Any. It's our job, it's our. I would like to wish you to all of you, bracha v'atzlacha, b'riut v'ezrat Hashem, and God bless you. Bracha v'atzlacha. Thank you very much.
نضوي نزغرتو على ربيع حين بنتو